let's talk about the story that the Russians are paying a bounty on American troops in Afghanistan. The president wasn't briefed on it because it's an unverified rumor. If you're going to report that story, please give me the name of the American soldiers that were killed, the price the Russians paid to the murderers, and I also want proof of payment. Is the amount a million rubles? Is it 5 million rubles? Who paid it? Please show me the person in Afghanistan who bought their new Toyota pickup truck with their new AK-47 surrounded by 5 million rubles, and then link that to a dead American. But at the moment, you have a rumor with no names of dead Americans and no amount and no Afghani sitting around with 1 million rubles saying that he got this from the Russians for killing an American. You know why? Because this is another Chinese lie. The Chinese are trying to frame Trump for Russian collusion. Who benefits? The Chinese. Who's hurt? Well, Americans and the Russians. Trump is having to be harder on the Russians than he would normally be, and you're pushing us towards World War III, which would just be the United States versus Russia. And who's sitting back? Oh, the Chinese. The Chinese sit back. We like this. Why don't we accuse Trump of more Russian collusion? It's ask yourself who benefits. Our major opponent in the world is China. Trump came in with the promise of renegotiating the trade deal with China, and immediately he's framed for Russian collusion. Who benefits? China. Is there any evidence of Russian collusion? No. On this thing with killing American troops or bounty on American troops, no evidence. The Chinese news network, CNN, they are all over it. I mean, when I look at the coverage of Donald Trump, I'm thinking most of this is coming from, and I have inside information on this, by the way, that most of it is coming from Chinese advertisers. It's Chinese-driven stories. Because if you're on CNN, MSNBC, somebody's buying ads on those platforms, and most of the things they're manufactured in China, and those companies buy the ads, and the Chinese news network, CNN, frames Trump for Russian collusion in an attempt to derail the renegotiation of the American-Chinese trade position. You're watching mypresidenttrump.com. My name is Tim, and what we are experiencing here is a Chinese conspiracy between the news network, the Democratic Party, to frame Russia and Trump for collusion. Don't buy it. Thank you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you're interested in becoming our advertisers, please let me know. Remember, Trump's innocent and the Chinese are guilty. Be careful. There's the Chinese flu out there.